Welcome back to Seat Time. I'm Woody. Yes, I've got the jorts on and I might be considered in an awkward position because right now I'm on the pole. It's probably not something you guys wanted to see unless it was a Saturday night, but this gear pole is a huge part of the bolted on system, which is what we're going to talk about today in this video. The riding family has grown. We need to fit more bikes, and to do that, we have expanded our bolted on rack. So about 3.5, 4 years ago was when we got our first bolted on rack, and now we have this new one, right? So there are some updates to the bolted on system, some things that we'll discuss. Now, I've been using this for about 5 months. So some of the footage that you're gonna see is when I was installing it back in June, but I'm gonna update you guys on other things that have even happened since then, how it's been working for me. But before we even talk about that, why does one get a bolted on system opposed to some of the other systems and features that are out there? When it comes to the ecosystem, the reason I chose the bolted on rack is for its ease of installation. Before I had totally zoned in on that was the way that I was going to go, I had put these L-tracks in, but these L-tracks aren't just screwed into the floor. I actually put a U-channel underneath so that way it dispersed energy, right? It's not just this one bolt holding, it's dispersing it across the entire way. And if you do some of the other systems that are out there, that's what you have to do, because if you just drill with some, self-threading screws or bolts into the floor, you're not going to have any support in any kind of wreck, or if the bike were just to shimmy and shake a lot while you're bouncing down a super dirt road. So the bolted on system uses these J-hooks. These J-hooks connect to these D-rings. These D-rings are factory, so they're already extremely secure. They're actually way more secure than what's probably going to happen in the back when you use those U-channel to disperse all of that energy. So that's what's so cool about this bolted on system, is it literally just comes out of the box, it bolts on to the stock D-rings of your van, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll. If you guys have been following Seat Time for a long time, you know that this MotoVan has been in the works for way too many years. It was 3.5 years ago that we installed this bolted on rack into the 2007 Seat Time Sprinter MotoVan. We've made few updates to it since then. We put the mountain bike chock on there, the Pro Wheel Chocks, so you can have a dirt bike or a mountain bike. We've talked about that in another video. So today, we're gonna put in a new bolted on rack. That way you guys can see what the older rack looks like, what the newer rack looks like, and maybe think about getting one of these for your future MotoVan. Let's get to it.
I'm not typically one for unboxing videos, but I had to show you guys the quality and care given by those at Bolted On with all of the packaging. This is an American-made product, and it is family-owned, and you can just see the love and care in the way that they package up their products. I also have to call out how much of a goober I am for laying this out just to take pictures for the gram.
I did just create quite the mess, so I think we should clean up a little bit first. Let's get to that.
I did it one piece at a time because I found a bunch of small parts and I didn't want to throw anything away by accident.
Whee! When you look at the instructions, it says the bolted on should face the inside, but if you're in a van, you want to make sure that the bolted on logo is faced outside. I have a feeling that has to do with rigidity and stuff like that. Not an engineer, not a builder of the things, just a reader of the instructions and trying to get this thing together. Did you guys notice that it's really hot in Texas right now? Well, I want you guys to learn from my mistake. I got this in here, I know how it needs to go in there, which holes to go for, but of course I don't have my chocks on yet. And my chocks have to fit in a certain spot so I can get this guy. So we've got a 45-degree chock, right? So this guy will fit here. The wheel can go at an angle like this. We might even try to get it way over here. We're gonna see. We're gonna play with that, of course. But so we got a 45-degree chock here. We got another 45-degree chock here, which will be able to sit over yonder, turn the wheel there at the edge, and now we have two of these for the middle. So that is a just-in-case scenario, but if we need to wind up scrunching bikes in here, so this will sit in the middle, this one will stay off to the side, mainly as storage so that I always have it in case I need it. It might be more like for mountain bikes or something like that. We'll see how all this goes. Let's fix the error in my ways and build this thing correctly. one of the updated features that they made throughout time is the fact that they wanted to keep these guys from jiggling around. It really came from, I believe, with the mountain bike parts, because once you get the tie downs in there for a dirt bike, it kind of holds it in. But because of the mountain biking aspect, there's just a little bit less torque there, that they added these guys. So this really helps lock the chalk in. And you're like, Brian, what's up with your left wrist? It looks like you've been not using your left hand that much. Well, definitely there are some stitches in that bad boy, and quite the video on the main Seat Time channel if you have not checked that bad boy out. All right, on to the wheel chocks. As I keep digging in the box, I keep finding more awesome little parts that Scott thought would be fun to throw on there. Sometimes you don't even know what you're ordering, right? So these are tie downs for the J-hook. So again, take the J-hook off, put this underneath there, and then you got another spot to tie down. You know why? Because you never know how many spots you're gonna need to tie things down with. So here we go. All right, so in case your Saturday night at the races isn't interesting enough, or maybe at the track or whatever, you've got yourself a nice little pole to dance on. Let's see how it does. Oh, well, I gotta make sure I give myself ample room, right? All right, holds the weight, should be good. As we keep iterating through this, I decided I want to put it in the middle because I've got enough arms to hang stuff off of. Let's put it in the middle and things can dangle off the sides. Don't worry, later on I'll get back on the pole for you guys and see how sturdy everything is. That'll be fun. We're going to make sure we get this thing level first though, because I don't want to break nothing. What's cool about these is I think, so I've got one more of these, I think you could even take this and put it right here if you wanted to have like a boot thing. Then you could take this, put both of these in, kind of like that, and you could easily have a boot storage right here, right? So you got this guy here, and this is straight, so it might be specifically for something like this. So I'm gonna hang it here for right now. We're just gonna kind of see how it gets used throughout the rest of the time. And because of the fact that you can never have too many places to put tie downs, we'll make sure that we get these guys here too. Now again, we gotta get all the bikes in here, we gotta get everything loaded up to know what the heck is going on. But that is the first install and attempt at this bad boy. Guys, it's warm. It is warm in Texas right now. Here's some close-up looks at what our full van looks like when loaded up. So you can see we do still have to use straps with this system, so it's not strapless. And because of the way that I built the beds, you can tell that it gets a little tight in there with the angle that I have on this chalk, and that's okay. About as far as it's gonna go that way. You can see the Tarot has the extender, so it's a little bit longer here than this one that you see there. We'll get the mountain bikes here in a second, but the Tarot sits there kind of in the middle, and the handlebars clear everything just nicely. And then Liam's bike sits again in another chalk that shoots the other way. This is typically what the gear pull looks like when I'm coming back from either a long weekend or just a ride. Now granted, if I go on a ride weekend, that sleeping bag is not there, but what's great is with this gear pull is I can get the boots hanging there so they can start to dry out. The van may smell a little with so much stinky stuff hanging there, but it's better when you get home and none of this stuff is just stuck in a dirty clothes hamper. But you can get a collapsible one if you want, which is a good idea, and I have one of those. And here's a look at the exact same wheel chocks, not even moved. So it's got the Pro Wheel Chock for the mountain bikes. So I've got Kalen's 27.5-inch wheel Marlin, got Liam's 24-inch Norco, and then I've got my 27.5-inch Mondraker. Man, I really want to upgrade to a 29er, but we're back on the pole, and we're getting ready to finish out this video. So tell me what you guys think. Obviously this bolted on rack through the years has been in the Seat Time MotoVan and it's worked extremely well. Now we have a little bit of an upgrade and we're gonna see how this continues to make our riding that much more fun in the family. But what system have you chosen in your MotoVan and why? Hit the comments, help everybody else who's looking for these types of videos with what works for you, why you chose it, and what you're going to be looking for in the future. Of course, if you want to support Seat Time, you can do that anywhere. We've got tons of places to do that. Get yourself a single track Mind shirt at shop.seattime.co. Swipe up, like, subscribe, do whatever the kids do these days if that's your thing. Maybe even just share this video with a riding buddy, whatever you want to do. I hope you guys enjoy getting Seat Time. If we don't get a chance to see you on the trail, at least we'll get to see you on the internet. Peace! The other great thing about the bolted on system is you have this, DIY pole to take with you. You moto moms like to get a little bit weird.